Car Turbo 51 over here, back with the 2020 career mode, driving for the Tifosi, driving for Ferrari. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, it's time for round number 2 of 10 for our very short worldwide pandemic-themed season. We're heading towards Shanghai in China for the Chinese Grand Prix. And you guys know, thanks to F1 2019, if you watched my F1 2019 career, even though I absolutely adore China, the AI are quite OP around Shanghai. So I was a little bit stressed heading into this weekend, but we're at Win Ferrari. We have to take out and show. And guys, for this video, unfortunately, you guys will not be seeing any qualifying footage. For some other reason, every single second of qualifying footage that I had just turned to absolute crap. I don't know what happened to my PS4, but it was extremely laggy. I didn't have like 10 seconds of proper film. It just kept lagging no matter what with the recording. And I didn't realize it until I was done with qualifying. Qualifying did not go well. We qualified in P7, which, yeah, it's not the best thing, and I'm sure Ferrari did not like that after our pole position qualification the previous round at the season opener in Vietnam. So we've got all eyes on top of us for this Chinese Grand Prix, and because we're at Ferrari, guys, even though we're only the third in the performance, we have to take out and show. There is no ways to get around that. Ferrari are Ferrari, and they expect just the very best. We cannot be caught napping, otherwise they will yeet us off out of F1. And guys, so we're gonna, after this little mistake I made in practice, we're jumping straight to the Chinese Grand Prix. Sorry about the qualifying thing, but there was nothing I can do. Let's head to the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1 and, of course, down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Parker, Sainz, Norris and Esteban Ocon, Stroll, Perez, Daniel Kvyat and Gasly, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After the podium last race, people are expecting a lot from you this weekend, but it's going to be tough from here.
I'm already stressed enough that we qualified so badly, and just before the race, Jeff's just like, oh, by the way, remember, all eyes are on you. Just so, by the way. Oh, guys, this is going to be a tough race, I'm not going to lie. I'm literally just aiming for a top 5 finish. But even that's going to be hard with the strategy play here around Shanghai. You guys know strategy is a very tough thing here around Shanghai, and you either get it right or you get it wrong. So without further ado, even though we're stressed, jam with me on the formation lap, shake your booty, and let's head straight to the Chinese Grand Prix. Are you guys ready for the Chinese Grand Prix here around Shanghai as we head to 5 red lights? And it's go, go, go for the Chinese Grand Prix. Ricardo on our inside. We have a good start off of the line. We get also on Verstappen's inside. Here's Vettel right ahead of us. Our teammate. It's side by side between myself, Ricardo, and Verstappen heading into this first never-ending corner here at Shanghai. We are forced to the outside, side by 3 wide through this next spot. Ricardo chickens out of the move, and he is now side by side with Verstappen as we force Verstappen onto the outside. We are up into P5 behind our teammate Sebastian Vettel, who is right behind Albon behind the 2 Mercedes. Heading into the next corner. Oh, Vettel gets caught napping. Vettel gets held up by the Red Bull of Albon, and that is us now up into P4. Thank you very much, Sebastian. That was not meant to be. And you guys know at this stage of the season, Vettel is the first driver. We are the second driver, but obviously we want to be the ones leading Ferrari. We want to yeet Vettel off to the second driver position. With all due respect, even though I love Sebastian, we are now the big dog in the house. But guys, heading towards this very amazing banked right-handed corner onto the back straight. It is Lewis Hamilton leading the way for Mercedes with his teammate Valtteri Bottas in P2. Alexander Albon is in P3 for Red Bull, followed by myself and Sebastian Vettel in the 2 Maranello red Ferraris. Then you've got Max Verstappen P6, Daniel Ricciardo P7. Then it's one of the McLarens. He's the second Renault of Ocon in P9, and the second McLaren rounds out the top 10. As we head towards the end of this first lap, guys, you guys can see Hamilton is absolutely bolting. He has found a 9th gear in that freaking Mercedes, and he is off and trying to build a gap already as his teammate Bottas is under pressure from Verstappen for P2. But you guys can see heading to the end of lap 3, guys, the tire wear here around Shanghai on the softs and the overheating problems you have, it is freaking uncontrollable. Guys, the softs, just use them for qualifying. Don't even try and use them in the race because they literally last 4 laps and they overheat as soon as you put them on, like literally. I came in at the end of lap 3, strapped on a set of mediums, and I tried to close the gap down to Bottas and Verstappen because at the end of lap 3 they were already like 2.5 seconds ahead of me. And I was just holding up my teammate, so I came into the pit lane, let Vettel go, and now at the back of the grid trying to chase down everybody. As now we have a look here at Carlos Sainz trying to make a move on Daniel Ricciardo 4. This is now P5, and P6, sorry, this is for P6 on the grid. Here we go. Oh, they both dive into the pit lane, and Carlos gets the best of Daniel, and wow, okay, that was a little bit gutsy from Sainz there, but I'm sure the McLaren boys are not gonna complain. It's McLaren mechanics v Renault mechanics. Who's got the quickest pit stop? Who's the most sufficient in the pit lane? Here come them, and we wheels off the McLaren. Sainz is away. Will he come up? Oh, gosh, Ricciardo's got front wing damage. So definitely McLaren will be out ahead of Ricciardo. That is very sad for Daniel Ricciardo, who had a fantastic qualifying to out-qualify myself for P6. Well done, Daniel Ricciardo in qualifying, but not well done in the race. As you guys see now, coming to the end, I think this is of lap 5. This is now my teammates Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen diving it into the pit lane. And Vettel, it's now Ferrari mechanics v Red Bull mechanics. Up on the jacks go the cars. Let's see, will Vettel come out ahead of Verstappen? Yes, he will. Well done. Oh, as Verstappen gets held by Norris and Ocon coming into the pit lane for McLaren and Renault. And that is unfortunate for Verstappen. So you guys can see myself. Let's see if we have built a gap to Sebastian Vettel. Head to the first corner. We haven't really built a gap, but we are still out ahead of Vettel. But guys, if Vettel was quicker than me in the second stint, I will let him go because if he's quicker, he is still the first driver, and I need to respect him as well as Ferrari. If he's quicker, I will have to let him go because he can challenge these front 3 in the form of Albon, Hamilton, and Bottas. As you guys see, Lewis Hamilton dives into the pit lane to strap on a set of hard tires to run to the end of the Grand Prix. He is held up a little bit by Albon coming into the pit lane, who's also strapping on the hard tires. And guys, the fact that Bottas is going an extra lap tells me that he will also go onto the hard tires. And guys, like I said, Vettel was able to keep his tire temperatures under control. I let Vettel go, and I was just going to let Vettel pull me along for as long as possible. Because there's no point in me holding him up and battling my teammate where he maybe can go fetch Albon or one of these Mercs and steal a podium for this Grand Prix. And after the little bit of a bad one he had back in Vietnam, hashtag spoiler alert, Vettel had an engine failure on lap 4 or 5 of the Vietnam Grand Prix, and he did not finish the Vietnam Grand Prix. So that was really sad for Vettel. So I think Vettel is hungry for points. And now you guys can see, here comes the typical Chinese Grand Prix problem on the F1 games. The midfield and the back markers run the medium tires at the start of the race. They one stop from mediums onto hards. But because the soft tires literally last at max 6 laps, as if you're me, 3 laps, the midfield runners actually hold up all the leading cars due to them going for the one-stop strategy and then being able to take their mediums all the way to like lap 13, 14, 15. As you guys see here, I make a double move on my teammate Sebastian Vettel and Nicholas Latifi there. Vettel got held up by Latifi. I had a brilliant run out of that banked right-hander onto the back straight, and I just flew past Vettel and Latifi, and that felt kind of sweet. And as you guys can see, it is actually the racing point of Stroll leading the way from Kvyat in P2, Perez P3. Here you guys can see P4 to P6. P7 is George Russell. P8 is Kevin Magnussen. P9 is Lewis Hamilton. And P10 is Bottas, followed by Albon in P11. So you guys can see the problem with the midfield and the back walkers who pass the leaders because they have to pit so early thanks to them qualifying on the soft tires in Q2. So you guys can see, here comes Hamilton. I'm sure he's not going to stick behind Magnussen for very long. He goes for the move on Kevin Magnussen, and right behind him it is Valtteri Bottas and Albon, who will also be looking to make a move. But Magnussen is trying to go for a move on Russell as Hamilton gets squeezed to the inside. Will he have the exit in that Mercedes? Here comes Magnussen. He had the outside line, and I think he will actually stay ahead of Hamilton. Hamilton had an absolutely fantastic run on both of them. But Kevin Magnussen, being Kevin Magnussen, just said, oh, hell no. But at the end of that, guys, there's nothing he can do. He is in a horse. Hamilton is in a Mercedes. Unfortunately, that will not happen. And the opportunistic Alexander Albon makes a move on Bottas as well as on Magnussen and Latifi and gets himself in between the two Mercedes. Can Albon stay with Hamilton? We'll have to find out, because now Bottas has got the problem of Russell and Magnussen. As you guys see in the background, once again I go for a move on Sebastian Vettel, who re-overtook me after I overtook him and Latifi. But once again now I'm ahead of Vettel. Guys, Vettel was just, when he's in traffic, Vettel is not one of the best drivers. He really struggles in traffic. He's a driver that likes to be in clean air so he can push. And here you guys can see now it is myself behind George Russell. This is going to be a simple and easy move, as you guys saw flashing past. Bottas gets the move done on Magnussen, and he is going to try and chase back down the Red Bull of Albon and hopefully his teammate Hamilton. As we are past Russell now into, I'm not sure even where. I think it might be like P10, P9, somewhere around there. I think it's P9. As now we are heading after Kevin Magnussen on the home straight, underneath all the beautiful skyscrapers and also the massive stands here on the home straight in China. Here we go. There we go, up the inside. Magnussen is really slow through this first corner. You can see he's struggling with tire wear. As we now go for a very opportunistic move on the inside. We are actually off track there and have to back off of the throttle to avoid a corner cut warning. We still get up the inside of Kevin Magnussen, who I'm not going to lie, I startled him quite a bit there. But yeah, here comes Hamilton on the second half of Roman Grosjean, who's got no defense heading into this left-right S here in the middle sector of the Shanghai International Circuit. Beautiful move there from Lewis Hamilton. As now we have Alexander Albon trying to make a move on that exact same horse of Grosjean. Here we go, Albon pulls to the inside there. I don't think there's anything that Grosjean is going to be able to do. Beautiful move from Albon as he gets past the horse. And the next pray for... Albon, that's a very bad lock-up heading into that hairpin at the end of the straight. You guys can see once again, Vettel had the better pace. So I just told Vettel, you know what, just footsack, get ahead of me and actually pull away now. For Pete's sake. In any case, guys, excuse that. My throat is a bit dry. I'm commentating like 3 videos for you guys today. Here comes Hamilton on the Alfa Romeo of, I think this is Raikkonen, if I'm not mistaken. It can be Gio, I'm not sure. But Hamilton on the inside, nothing that the Alfa Romeo of Raikkonen can do. The next Alfa is Giovinazzi, actually. And as you guys see, here comes the P2 man, Mr. Danny Kvyat. That is Kvyat. They're coming into the pit lane from P2 on the grid. Yes, from P2 on the grid. He is followed by Sergio Perez, who was in P3, and Lance Stroll, leading this race, is still out in P1. just running around for one more lap before he's going to decide to pit from the lead. I'm sure Lance Stroll was up in heaven because for the first time ever, he has led a Grand Prix in Formula 1. And there you guys can see Stroll dives it into the pit lane. Racing Point and AlphaTauri played their cards perfectly by leading the way, and they are going to be very big contenders with myself, Vettel and Verstappen come the end of this Grand Prix, because remember, we still have to make another pit stop. These guys are making their one and only pit stops now. As you guys can see here, there goes Stroll, and here you guys can see this is now Hamilton. We quickly rewind a little back onto the back straight. Hamilton making the move on Giovinazzi for this would now be the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. There goes Hamilton. You guys can see Albon and Albon. Very beautiful, Turbo, beautiful. Albon and Bottas are not far behind, and I'm sure they are going to make quick work of those guys. And after all the midfield and back marker runners have pit for their hard tires, it is Lewis Hamilton leading the way from the Red Bull of Alexander Albon in P2, who is defending from Valtteri Bottas as we head into the first corner. Bottas is trying to take back P2 from Albon. Up the inside goes Bottas. Very close indeed. I think Bottas has got the move done. Albon keeps his nose in there. It's very tight through the second corner. Who's going to have the exit coming out of the second corner? It is Mercedes v Honda power in the back of those engines, and Bottas gets his Mercedes up into P2. So it's Bottas P2, Albon P3. Vettel is now trying to chase them down in P4 for our Ferrari team. In P5 it is myself. P6 actually, it is the McLaren of, I think it's Norris. No, it's Sainz. Carlos Sainz is in P6 with Daniel Ricciardo. Esteban Ocon P7. Lando Norris is in P8. P9 is the Renault of Ricciardo. Even after a front wing change, Ricciardo is having a fantastic race. And P10, there you guys can see, it is Lance Stroll. They are not even far behind us. And as you guys see here, this is now the lap 16. Guys, this is the lap where I should have come into the pit lane. And Vettel dives into the pit lane on my lap and basically forces me to go around another time of the circuit. And remember guys, I pitted 2 laps earlier than Vettel. My tires are completely falling off the cliff. Carlos Sainz behind me in the McLaren was busy catching me. I was so slow. My tires were overheating like crazy. There was no front end grip anymore, and I had to go an extra lap for this stint. I was not happy with this, and I really quickly let Ferrari know that I was not happy with that. That should have been my lap for the pit stops. But you live and you learn, and like I said, I'm still the second driver, even though I didn't like it, and Ferrari knows that I didn't like it. I still have to respect it. I'm not first driver just yet. We come into the pit lane, guys, and you guys can see now, obviously, brand spanking new set of medium tires, which will carry us to the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. We come out of the pit lane.
Let's get some heat into those tires.
Thank you very much, Jeff 2.0. Jeff 1.0. Jeff 2.0 is on Project Cars 2. Excuse me mixing up the two twin brothers. We are come out in P10, guys, so we've got a lot of work on our hands to try and catch the guys ahead of us. This is now me catching the Alfa Romeo of Raikkonen, if I'm not mistaken. It is Raikkonen, yes. No, that's Giovinazzi. That's Giovinazzi. Yeah, that's Giovinazzi, guys. That is Antonio Giovinazzi. We get past Gio, and that is us now up into P9. Oy vey, P9 in a Mercedes. In a Ferrari. And Mercedes are leading the way. Not the best thing in the world, to be quite honest. And oh, guys, Danica Kvyat, after driving an absolutely stupendous Grand Prix, has had a failure of some sort. The previous Grand Prix, oh no, actually, don't worry. I almost mixed up the My Team universe with the career mode universe. Sorry, that was accidental. You can forgive me. I am allowed to make mistakes. I'm only human. You guys see, this is now Vettel getting past Perez for, I think this is P6 now? I'm not sure. As you guys can see, Max Verstappen has pulled off some sort of miracle and has winded up ahead of me, right behind Vettel. So Verstappen has pulled off an absolutely amazing strategy. So GG's Red Bull. Well done. And now we are actually Vettel gets the move down on Perez, and he is now chasing after Stroll, who is ahead of him. Here you guys see, this is now Verstappen trying to make a move here on Perez. But you guys can see the Honda motor struggles to get onto the back of the Racing Point, who's got the Mercedes engine. Oh, Verstappen has a double lockup and actually hits the side of Perez. Will he get the moves on heading into the final corner? I think he will. Oh no, Perez is still there. Perez says, oh, no bueno, son. You want this position, you're going to have to fight for it. Perez now has the DRS. We head into the first corner. Will Perez go for a move on Verstappen? He decides against it, and that is Verstappen now up another position. But guys, that has been the Chinese Grand Prix. A very disappointing Chinese Grand Prix from my perspective, if you ask me. Oh my word. Guys, Lewis Hamilton is going to ground the final quarter to take a dominant win here in China. His teammate Bottas will seal P2 after he just bolted away from this man, Alexander Albon, in P3. A solid podium for Red Bull, but I am absolutely sure that Christian Horner would have loved more. And here you guys can see it is actually Vettel battling away with Lance Stroll for P4 in this Grand Prix. He gets the move done on the final back straight, and Vettel will take a solid P4 for Ferrari. Stroll will take P5, Verstappen P6, and guys, we didn't even catch the second Alpha ahead of us. Oh no, it's Perez ahead of us in P7. We come up with a very disappointing and terrible P8.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Well, Lance Stroll would be my pick. He managed to keep a cool head today whilst pushing through the field.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not proud of myself. Guys, P8. That's bad. We're in a freaking Ferrari, and this is before the patch. The patch has not yet come out. We are in a Ferrari, and I finished P8 behind both Racing Points. That's sad. That's absolutely sad. We really have to clean up for Zandvoort. We also have 3 failures on the car. Bloody Nora. So we're going to repurchase all these parts because luckily Ferrari roll in the money. In this case, resource points. But guys, with all due respect, I know I'm hard on myself, but this is unacceptable. If I have a season like this further, Ferrari will kick me to the curb at the end of the season, and their initial thoughts back on F1 2019 of me will be true. And remember, we've only got 10 races. We don't have a full 22 race calendar. I've got 8 races left to prove myself, and I'm planning on starting in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix the next episode. We absolutely have to get at least a podium, at least P3, otherwise we are a bit screwed for the rest of this career mode, I'm not gonna lie. But guys, that has been this semi-disappointing but still quite action-packed Chinese Grand Prix and second episode of our career mode, driving for the Tifosi. Guys, just as a quick note, now that I've finally played F1 2019, guys, this game feels amazing. The cars are quicker, the cars feel more realistic, they feel better than last year, and I absolutely love the feeling of F1 2020. Look, I'm not looking forward to the patch for the Ferrari. I'm going to struggle even more then. But you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope I have deserved your like with my interesting commentating, and even though my result was terrible, please drop a like down below on the video. It's only gonna take you a nifty 2 seconds. Please, 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 please. And guys, follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter. Share this video with your friends. Tag me in the post or the story, and I will give you a shout out on social media, as well as on YouTube. You know, some people like that. I don't know why, but they do. So yes, share the video and I will give you a shout out. And finally, guys, if you haven't done it yet, what are you doing? Be subscribed, career mode, my team, Project Cars 2, Dirt 4, all your sim racing needs will be met here on Turbo Fox Races. Oh, don't forget the Motorsport Lounge, which I'm planning a few very nice and fun episodes for the future. So please, subscribe. You know you want to. Ding that bell to never miss a future episode. Become a pure and ultra cool Turbonatic like everybody who has subscribed already. You guys are my Turbonatics. I love you guys. Once again, thank you so much for staying till the end. Thank you for doing all these nifty things. You guys are amazing. I'll see y'all next episode. Cheers!